Hi, everybody. We are excited to be creating what we hope is our last video update stateside before we return back to Romania.
Yay.
So we wanted to just reach out to everybody and thank you for your support, for all of your prayers, for your financial support that's allowing us to go back to Romania, for all the ways that you've encouraged us. We're just so thankful that we are able to be going back.
Yeah, and the Lord has answered all of the prayer requests that we had from our previous video update. And just one of the ways that felt very tangible to us that we were feeling such encouragement and support from everybody around us was this past weekend when our home church, Restoration Presbyterian, hosted a church-wide yard sale for us, where we just had so many people donate things that could be sold, and all of the funds are going into our support account. For us to be able to get back to Romania. And we just had an army of people coming out to not only donate, but to help us price and organize things, and then actually move everything outside on the day of the yard sale, and then take shifts coming up and helping sell things, and then take everything that didn't sell to Goodwill. And it was just this army of people, not only from our church, but from our communities, like in our where our kids went to school, and even people as far away as Australia who were praying for us and for the success of the yard sale. And it was very successful. By the end of the day, we had sold about $2,100 worth that is going into our support account. So we were just so grateful for that, not only for the funds that were raised there, but just for the encouragement we felt from having such a huge group of people come alongside of us and help us in such a very tangible way. And that was just a really great way that we saw the Lord's love for us.
So we are returning back to Romania in about 6 days, August 30th, and we would love for you guys to be praying for the borders to remain open. We had originally planned to return somewhere around September 5th, but we noticed that the cases were spiking, and so we wanted to get there a bit faster and kind of get there in August before the month change, just thinking that maybe Romania would stay open and not make any changes until the new month. So we are hopeful that we will be able to return, but with all of the different changes that are going on, it's very stressful right now. Thinking about taking kids through the airport, but then on top of that, thinking about what policies are going to change and what new testing are they going to require? Are we going to be notified of that with enough time to kind of get that accomplished? All of those things are just very, very stressful. So we are praying that the borders stay open and that we stay healthy, which is another big request. Because with all the spikes in COVID, we do not want to come down with anything right before we head back.
Yeah. So the Lord has been faithful with finances and just with the encouragement and prayer support. He has been faithful to keep the borders open. And then one of the other big prayer requests that we had for you last time was for our housing situation. And that was getting pretty stressful for us, considering that we changed our departure date by about 10 days that we were losing. And so we were constantly looking at places to stay in Romania, and it's been pretty difficult to find something that will fit a family of six right now. Our teammates, the Evers, were just so wonderful for constantly looking and visiting places for us and helping us find somewhere. And so we are very, very grateful to announce that we have found an apartment over there. It is on the third story with no elevator, so we will quickly be getting back into shape in Romania. We're so grateful for that. And then the Lord has also provided for our home here, hopefully potential renters, but if not, some great property managers who are going to help us find renters. And we're just incredibly grateful for that provision as well.
Yeah, one last thing that you can be praying for is our visas. That's something that we're not sure how stressed the Romanian government is right now with COVID and regulations and everything that's been going on. And we think that we'll be okay with that, but that's always a little stressful because we have 90 days from getting back in the country for that whole process to get taken care of. So you can be praying for that too.
Yeah. And actually, as the last thing that you can be praying for is that this final week of us being in the States is always pretty stressful, especially for our children. thankfully, Elon and Atticus are at an age and they pretty much know what's going on so that they're able to communicate and process both their excitement and their grief. And I think that we're doing well talking about those things consistently. But it is still just a difficult week for us to be saying goodbye to different people pretty much every night of the week. And so they're just having to process a lot of grief this week, and so are we. But then also, Gemma doesn't really know what's going on right now. But Denton is really at that age that's difficult, where he recognizes constant change and transition and some anxiety, and but he's not really old enough to communicate that yet. And so we see a lot of acting out, a lot of misbehavior, and we just as parents need just Holy Spirit given capacity to not only demonstrate the fruits of the Spirit like patience and love, but that we would be able to meet all of their emotional needs while also doing the millions of things that feel like are the last details that need to be taken care of this week. And so it is a really difficult week for us. And so if you would please just be covering us and our children in prayer over this last week, we would really appreciate it. And we just look forward to giving you our next update from our new place in Romania in a few weeks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.